And Yarosher is going to do our plant for him first.
I'm going to start at this end down here, and I'm going to do this quickly. So bear with me if I can read everything, if you'd like to. This is Hamelia patens, and it's the called firecracker plant. Sometimes I think it's from Mexico. Yes, from Mexico. This is April's. How big does yours this get?
About 4 feet.
4 feet. I've seen.
Mine is above my house.
Yeah, that's what I've seen. Bart O'Brien had one that was gorgeous. It was past the roof line of his house when we went to actually do some work there. So, and they bloom this time of year pretty reliably. They seem to like be doing nothing, and then all of a sudden, boom, they just go burst into bloom. So really quite nice. Amaranthus caudatus, or love lies bleeding. Actually a decorative form of the grain crop of Amaranthus, and will seed around. I'm sure it reseeds reliably in your yard or not. Do you have to?
I usually start it every year.
Okay. On fairly fertile soil, this will reseed everywhere. It'll come up in every crack in the yard. Yeah, so it's interesting. Some places it doesn't do quite as well. Ruta which is apparently a hybrid between Rudia and Raspolia. So it's a portmanteau name, I guess. For I think they're South African. I think.
I can't remember who they are.
South African plants. Makes a fairly reliable shrub that you can kind of trim back after it's flowered, and pretty easily grown, isn't it? I mean, do you have any trouble with it?
I'm not having.
It's
I haven't had any trouble with them.
not. You can't find it very easily anymore.
Here.
Yeah, she got it here at the Huntington plant sale back in a million years ago when I worked at Hortus. We used to carry that a lot, but I don't see it at all anymore. The reintroduced Black Diamond series. This used to be of crepe myrtle, is Lagerstromia. John Schustra snarkily called this ebony and ivory because it gets mildew. or if it gets mildew. I know mine don't mildew. I've had one in one garden that I planted get mildew. They come in some pretty remarkable colors. This, I think, is one of the best. Along with, there's a watermelon pink one that is really astonishing with the bronze it's a more bronzy foliage than this darker foliage.
And I got that because you brought one in like years ago, and I was on a hunt for it.
Oh, okay, so I'm responsible for your plant lust.
I have 7 of them.
But yeah, I mean, Home Depot, they sell them at Home Depot, so that's easy to find. And I would look for some of the color forms. Try and find them when they're in bloom. Don't just read the tag. The tags will trick you into buying ones that aren't quite as good. If you see them in bloom, you'll know that's the one I want. So this is Calostemma purpurescens, and it is a bulb from Australia. Australia. It almost looks like an onion, but it's really quite sweet. Who's growing this? This is you. And want to say anything?
Yeah, it's sort of like the Amaryllidaceae. It's a naked bulb, so it puts up this lovely stalk, and then later the leaves will come out. It's one of the few bulbs from Australia. Not that many geophytes down there. It's a really nice plant. You can get it at Joe O'Connell's Australian Native Nurseries, and I've seen it around a couple times. It's actually pretty easy to grow from seed if you find somebody else who has it.
We have it here, and we collect seed and grow it, and there'll probably be some in the fall plant sale. But what's nice about it is that it just suddenly appears in the hottest part of summer. When you're least expecting a beautiful flower, there it is.
Kind of like Lycoris then, which just pop up at the worst time of the year. So, Pelargonium yellow. This is Kathy brought this in.
No,
you can tell.
Laura.
Oh, Laura brought this in.
I got it from Kathy.
That's what I read. Sorry. I was thinking because of the pot that it was Kathy's.
She said I should take that home.
Actually, Sandy's been eyeing it, I think, as well. Anyway, pelargoniums, really, there are very few that even approach yellow. This is probably the most yellow I've ever seen. I know that, who's the pelargonium lady?
Robin Parrott.
Robin Parrott still used to sell a smaller petaled one that was called yellow, and it's only yellow if you hold a piece of white paper behind it. That was as close. This actually is reading yellow, so.
So I got it originally, Monterey Bay was selling it.
Really?
Yeah, I found it at a local retail nursery, but it had a Monterey Bay tag on it. Then my friend Jim Comstock gave me one too that he got from somewhere. So it's around. It's around.
This is Homescoldia sanguinea. Eric and Ann brought this in. It's called what is it called?
Is it
Chinese hat plant.
Or a mandarin hat.
Yeah, mandarin hat plant. So it's the bract that subtends the flower that is really making it look like a hat. The flower, I think, goes pretty quickly, if I remember, and then the bracts hold on for quite a while. But quite colorful. Does this get quite big?
It can.
Yeah, you need to cut it back
Well,
probably.
it's actually going up her fireplace. So. Or her chimney.
Headed back. And this spectacular thing, which I don't remember it being called this. I wonder if is that the name
Brilliant Taser?
Brilliantasia.
Yeah.
Yes.
That sounds
April lights.
That sounds very Disney-fied. Anyway, it's a kind of tropical salvia, tropical grand salvia. Yeah, great. Yeah, giant salvia, excuse me. So how big does this actually get?
It gets big.
It gets
And
big.
It's easy to tame, yes. It's actually from our breakfast nook, looking at the hummingbird feeders. We keep having to chop it down so we can see the feeders.
Do the hummingbirds like it, or okay? So great, it's a hummingbird plant. And this is Bauhinia galpinii. This was brought in by Eric and Ann Brooks. I know that April grows this as well. These are quite spectacular. You can't quite tell under this lighting, but the foliage is almost it's a blue-green and then the flowers look like some sort of mutant nasturtium. They're just gigantic. And really, the color is almost electric when these are flowering. It's really quite nice. So this is kind of a lax shrub, or it kind of leans its way into other plants or up any kind of support. It doesn't twist or twine much, but
There's one down at South Coast Botanic Garden that's probably 10 feet, 8 feet high and 8 feet wide. We've lusted after that for ours.
this is the plant I talked about with oh, I'm gonna mess up her. Never mind. It's too long a story.
I am one
Okay, we gotta get to our speakers.
Where can we buy it though? Where can you buy that?
San Gabriel Nursery has it.
It's amazing.
San Gabriel Nursery. You could probably order it as well if you go to one of those nurseries that will do special orders. What?
San Marcos Grove.
San Marcos
I
Growers.
think that's probably, we got probably done.
Salvia microphylla, and this one is blue azure. No, so Mesa azure. Yes. You can see that. Wow. Right in the light. Don't go into the light. Are these plants that are being talked about for the?
Yeah, you're done.
Okay. No, actually, Kathy's plants over here that she's gonna.
Well, no,
Oh.
well.
Tacoma. Is this one of the smaller ones?
So, I was gonna talk about Tacoma.
Oh.
And I'm not, but I brought that one anyway, so that can be an actual, forum plant.
Plant forum. Are you talking about the others in your talk?
Yes.
Okay, then I won't say anything about them. Thank you all for bringing the plants in. And Carol.
Thank you. Platform's always the best part.